Hey everyone, did you know there's enough energy in a single bolt of lightning to power a city for an instant? Or that electricity can actually flow through living organisms, including us? Electricity powers our daily lives, but there's so much we take for granted about this incredible force. Imagine if we could uncover a few jaw-dropping facts you probably didn't know about electricity. Join us on this electrifying journey to discover the hidden wonders of electricity. From mind-blowing natural phenomena to the quirkiest uses you wouldn't believe. Lightning holds unbelievable power. Let's talk about one of nature's wildest shows, lightning. Picture this, a single bolt of lightning can carry up to 1 billion joules of energy, enough to power an average home for an entire month. And here's the kicker, it's hotter than the surface of the sun, reaching temperatures of around 30,000 Kelvin. That's right, in the blink of an eye, lightning transfers an incredible amount of heat and energy, lighting up the sky and producing the thunder that rumbles afterward. It's a reminder of just how powerful and raw nature can be. But lightning doesn't just happen during storms, it even strikes during volcanic eruptions. When a volcano erupts, the ash particles collide in the dense, smoky clouds, creating static charges that unleash bolts of lightning right in the ash cloud. Imagine witnessing that, lightning illuminating a volcanic explosion. It's as if nature has its own pyrotechnic show, blending fire, lightning, and earth together in one fierce display. Now, what's even crazier is that lightning is unpredictable. Scientists know a lot about what triggers it, but pinpointing when and where it will strike is nearly impossible. That's why lightning is so fascinating and terrifying. It can strike seemingly out of nowhere, even up to 10 miles away from a storm. So, next time you see a storm on the horizon, remember, that lightning can be lurking. This is why lightning is studied so intensely. Scientists have explored its mysteries, hoping to harness some of that power safely, though it's still far beyond our control. Just imagine the possibilities if we could capture and use that energy. For now, though, lightning remains one of nature's most thrilling, untamed forces. Static electricity can be explosive. Picture this, static electricity might seem harmless, like that little shock you get when touching a doorknob, but under the right conditions it can actually be explosive. In fact, factories handling flammable materials have to be super careful because even a small static spark can ignite gases or dust, leading to huge explosions. It's one of those invisible forces around us that's more powerful than we usually think. Here's something wild: static electricity builds up because of friction, like when you rub a balloon on your hair and they attract each other. Now think about that on a massive scale, like in a grain silo where tiny dust particles collide and generate static. One spark in that environment and boom, it can trigger a powerful explosion. So yeah, static electricity can be as risky as it is fascinating. Even on a smaller scale, static electricity's strength can surprise you. Ever seen a video of someone lifting a piece of paper with a comb? That's static electricity at work, creating a tiny but mighty attraction. It's the same effect that makes clothes stick together in the dryer or causes your hair to stand on end. We're talking about a force that can build up out of nowhere and make the ordinary feel almost magical. But while static electricity is fun to experiment with, it's something we have to respect. It's a reminder that even the smallest changes can pack a punch, whether it's making hair rise or triggering explosions in the right conditions. So next time you feel that little shock, remember, static electricity may be small, but it's never insignificant. Eels use electricity to hunt and defend. Get this, electric eels are basically nature's own superheroes, using electricity to hunt, navigate, and defend themselves. Imagine swimming in murky waters and suddenly feeling a zap powerful enough to stun anything in its path. That's the life of an electric eel. They generate electricity from specialized cells called electrolytes, which can stack up like little batteries to unleash a serious shock, sometimes reaching up to 600 volts. What's even cooler is how these eels control their power. They can deliver a low-voltage zap to sense what's around them, like radar, or turn up the power for hunting and self-defense. This dual-purpose electricity is super effective, especially in the dark waters of the Amazon, where these eels thrive. If something tries to mess with them, they release a high-voltage shock that can even make larger predators think twice about a second attack. And here's something: wild electric eels can also use electricity to communicate. They send signals to other eels with low-voltage pulses, almost like a secret code. This is especially useful when they're moving around in groups or during mating. So it's not just about zapping food or threats, they're actually talking to each other in a language of electric pulses. It's like having your own built-in walkie-talkie in the underwater world. Now, here's the big takeaway. These eels aren't just fascinating, they're a reminder of how clever and adaptable nature can be. Their ability to use electricity in multiple ways makes them one of the most unique creatures in the animal kingdom. The next time you see an electric eel, think of it as the ultimate aquatic superhero, packing a charge and using it with precision. The ancient world knew about electric fish. You might be surprised, but the ancient world was actually onto something with electric fish long before we had the science to explain it. Ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans all noticed certain fish could create a shock, almost like nature's version of a healing device. They even called these fish Thunderer of the Nile or the numbing fish, a fitting name for something that could send a tingle through your arm if you touched it. These electric fish, especially the electric rays, were known to produce a jolt powerful enough to numb pain. Ancient healers thought this shock could be therapeutic, so they'd use these fish to treat ailments like headaches and arthritis. Imagine walking into a healer's tent with a migraine, and they offer you a touch from an electric ray instead of herbs. They believed that the shock's effect on the body helped to balance the humors, a key idea in ancient medicine. What's even cooler is that these civilizations documented their observations. The Greek physician Scribonius Largus wrote about using electric shocks to treat pain as early as the 1st century AD. They had no idea about electrical currents or volts, but they understood that these fish had something powerful going on. They saw electricity as a sort of magical, mysterious force, long before the age of experiments and scientific breakthroughs. So, the next time you think about electricity, remember, ancient civilizations were already onto its power. They may not have known the science behind it, but they respected the electric fish as nature's own remedy. It's amazing to think that our ancestors were learning from electric fish long before anyone knew what electricity really was. Electricity travels at nearly the speed of light. Alright, let's dive into the mind-blowing speed of electricity. Imagine flipping a light switch and almost instantly, the light turns on. That's because electricity travels incredibly fast, nearly at the speed of light. We're talking about 186,000 miles per second for light, and electricity clocks in close to that, depending on the medium it's moving through. So, in a blink, that electrical charge races through wires to make your lights, gadgets, and devices spring to life. The speed of electricity isn't exactly constant, though. It depends on factors like the material of the conductor and even the temperature. For example, electricity moves faster through certain metals like copper, which is why it's so widely used in electrical wiring. And in some superconductors, electricity can move even more efficiently with almost zero resistance, making it even faster. It's fascinating how these tiny electrons just zip through materials, following paths like highways at a near-light speed. This speed is so fast that it practically feels instant to us, even if the switch is across the room or the wire runs through a building. What's really happening is a chain reaction of electrons pushing each other along, like a crowd at a concert. Once one electron moves, it pushes the next one in line, creating an almost immediate effect down the wire, so it seems like the electricity is teleporting right to the end. So, next time you flick on a light, take a second to think about what's happening. Those tiny particles are flying at unimaginable speeds, making the modern world work in an instant. Electricity may not be visible, but its speed and power are a true marvel, practically the closest thing we have to magic in science. Earth generates its own electric field. Let's talk about something amazing. The Earth itself generates its own electric field. That's right. Our planet isn't just rock, water, and life, it's actually producing electric energy every second. This electric field isn't something you feel in everyday life, but it plays a huge role in how energy moves around us. It's created because the Earth's surface is charged negatively, while the upper atmosphere holds a positive charge, forming a sort of giant battery around us. The source of this electric field is primarily the interaction between solar radiation and our atmosphere, along with thunderstorms that act like natural generators. Thunderstorms in particular release massive amounts of energy, charging the atmosphere and strengthening the field. It's all part of what scientists call the global electric circuit, which keeps electricity flowing around the planet in a delicate balance. In fact, if you could measure the voltage difference between the ground and the sky, you'd find it's around 100 volts per meter. What's even cooler is how this electric field supports life itself. For example, It helps certain creatures, like birds, navigate across long distances by giving them a natural sense of direction. Some theories even suggest that the electric field could impact human health, though that's still a topic of research. The more we learn, the more we realize how connected we are to Earth's natural electric systems, even if we don't notice them directly. So next time you see a lightning storm or feel that tingling sense of nature around you, remember? It's not just a beautiful display, it's part of a complex, invisible electric field generated by our own planet, quietly at work in the background of our lives, keeping energy moving in ways that are just as essential as they are mysterious. Our bodies run on electrical signals. Here's something incredible. Your body is literally buzzing with electricity. Every thought, every heartbeat, every movement relies on tiny electrical signals zipping through your nerves. Think of it as your own personal power grid, keeping everything coordinated and in sync. It's the reason you can think, breathe, feel, and move, all powered by these fascinating electrical impulses. Our brains alone are like a control center, firing off millions of electric signals each second. Neurons, the cells in our brains and nerves, communicate using electric charges that jump from cell to cell. When you decide to lift a finger, a signal races from your brain, down your nerves and into your muscles, all in the blink of an eye. Without this electric network, even the simplest actions would be impossible. It's like we're wired to function. Your heart, too, is a powerhouse of electricity. It generates its own rhythmic electrical signals, which cause it to beat in a precise, life-sustaining pattern. This heartbeat is actually measurable with an electrocardiogram, or EKG, which doctors use to check how well your heart's electrical system is working. Imagine, a simple spark is what keeps your heart pumping, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body. So the next time you blink, breathe, or think, remember that it's all happening because of electricity. Our bodies are living proof that electricity isn't just a tool for powering machines, it's fundamental to life itself. Pretty wild, right? That electrical magic is happening inside each of us, every single second, making life as we know it possible. The world is moving towards clean electricity. Imagine a world where our electricity doesn't come from burning fuels, but from the wind, sun, and water around us. That's the future we're moving toward, and it's already happening. Clean electricity, generated from renewable sources, is transforming how we power everything from homes to cities. By tapping into these endless natural resources, we're working to cut down pollution and build a greener planet for future generations. Solar panels and wind turbines are popping up everywhere, from rooftops to open fields, making electricity out of sunlight and breezes. These technologies don't create pollution as they generate power, which means they're way better for the environment than fossil fuels. And the best part? Sunlight and wind are free and abundant, so they can help provide clean power without ever running out. Countries around the world are investing heavily in renewable energy sources, from large-scale wind farms to hydroelectric dams and even geothermal plants that draw heat from beneath the Earth's surface. Governments, companies, and communities are all joining forces to make clean electricity the standard. This global shift is making clean energy more affordable and accessible, and it's proving that sustainability isn't just a dream, it's achievable. Moving toward clean electricity isn't just about saving the planet, it's also about creating a better quality of life for everyone. With less pollution, cleaner air, and renewable power sources, we're working toward a future that's healthier and more resilient. It's an exciting journey, and with each new solar panel and wind turbine, we're taking one step closer to a world powered by clean energy. And that's a wrap on our journey through electricity's most amazing facts. From natural wonders to the future of clean energy, electricity is everywhere, driving life, technology, and discovery. If you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the world with us.